talk about my experience with the people of the earth. And the Kogi, Arhuaco, Kankuamo, and the Wiwa are the 4 tribes, and they're from Colombia in the Sierra Nevada, and their villages and area that they have their tribes is from the sea all the way up to the mountains in 18,000 feet. Magnificent, beautiful place that they're trying to protect. It's when we arrived and we were driving up to where they live, it was really like a scene out of Avatar. I mean, you see these beautiful paved roads, and then there's these big construction equipment all lined up, and then it goes onto the dirt, and then it goes into these very difficult roads to maneuver up this mountain. And the fact that it's so difficult to get to, I think, has been their saving grace, and why they've been able to maintain their integrity and their culture and really be secluded. And it seems like the more that an indigenous tribe can keep its separateness, they keep their culture intact. And these guys have a magnificent culture and a richness and a thoroughness and a beauty to their community. And so they did a movie. The Kogi, one part of the tribe, did a movie about the Elder Brothers' message to the world, and then they also did another movie called Aluna. The BBC did a movie on them, 2 movies, and and their message was that the earth is dying, and the only reason that they're coming out and speaking was because they don't want that to happen, and they're saying, we need to change the way that we're living. And they did that first movie, and really nothing changed as far as us down here. I'll say in the modern world, we aren't making the shifts that need to be made. And then they did another movie, and again, the same thing of like, why haven't you listened? And why haven't you changed the ways that you're living? And because things are getting worse. And those movies were very powerful. And to actually go and meet these people and talk with them and spend time with them, and that they were willing to open themselves up to us, and that also that they were willing to come, they had come to New Mexico and given their time, energy, and effort to sharing this message. And they do a practice of divining, where they pray to the mother and ask her for guidance, and then they get a response, the priest, the mamus, and then they share that, what her message is. And the most amazing thing that I experienced, because I feel like they have every right to be kind of grouchy with us, to point the finger at us. And they said that they take full responsibility for everything that's happened here. And it kind of made my jaw drop, because they weren't pointing the finger. They were saying, look, we need to come together and do something about this. And so they took the responsibility to kind of up the game, from my understanding, to really deepen communication, to deepen a relationship, to open themselves up to a collaboration with us, and with us as a global entity, to all the people. And that was so inspiring, and I was inspired by that. And so, what responsibility can I take, can you take, can all of us take to really, not on our watch will we let this planet go down. This is not the legacy that I want to hand off to my children, and I don't think that any of us do. So it's like, what is it that we can be called to action to make the shifts that we need to make, to hear the call, to gather together, to really put down our judgments. I mean, there's just, it's it's a tragic time where we see so many walls and so many ways of being that judge, maybe because we don't have the same belief system or the same culture or the same skin color or the same language or economic level, that we're judging each other or thinking we're more than or less than or whatever it is that makes the animosity deepen. And that all of us need to put down, and this is what they said that would heal our planet. This is what they literally said when we said, can you help us? They said, if you can go inside and put down your tendencies of negativity and aggression, if that's what we just did, is to do that. And that's where it ties into the story of the peacemaker. And if you haven't read that story, get the book, get the story, talk to somebody, and learn about this. This is the most magnificent story. When I heard it, I was like, how come I grew up my whole life and didn't know this story? It is the most exquisite story. It's a 9-day story when it's told, but there's shortened versions of it. Don't worry. And we have someone did a children's book, which is a very, each story has its own kind of slant, or each tribe might have its own slant on the version, but it really is about putting down the weapons, bearing the hatchet, letting go of our differences and coming together in a moment that is absolutely necessary, not creating more divisions, but actually coming together. And that's, to me, what yoga is about. That's what yoga teaches, is the oneness. And that's what the Thanksgiving address teaches, is the oneness of minds, the coming together of relationships. And it would only make sense because, excuse me, that the challenges that we face give us an opportunity for spiritual growth. If that's all that we could take each one of these moments where we look and you read the paper or you hear something on the news and it's just, you hear about what's happening to the earth, it's just so overwhelming. What possibly could one person do? And if we do the work on ourselves inside and make those shifts, we would be guided in beautiful ways. We would see that reflected out into the world. And that's a leap of faith, I know, but that's what they're asking us to do. And I don't think that there's any path, spiritual path, that would disagree with purifying, cleansing, and cleaning out aggression could be harmful. So if you're interested in doing more of this work, come and do a workshop, come and do a training, come and do a retreat. We'll talk more about this, and we'll put together practices that would share with you everything that we've got about how to move that way. And if you feel the call, if you feel that calling to be with us, and if not, deepen your own path, deepen your own experience with nature, with spirit, with being of service.